What's up, everybody? This is Emmanuel live at the NPEA Conference here in Philadelphia. I got a special guest with me straight from NPEA, and I'd love to just hear her perspective and let y'all meet the people behind the scenes making things work here at the conference. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi everyone, I'm Bianca Diaz and I serve as the Member Engagement Manager for NPEA. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to have all the attendees come to our conference. So NPEA started in 2007 and we are a membership-based organization that brings together the people, practices, and innovations to help support under-resourced students through into college. And so what does that mean, right? We bring together people across the whole education landscape from higher ed, from K through 12, and community-based organizations to really come to the table and brainstorm solutions to some of the most complex education issues that are happening in our country, right? And so, yeah, that's NPEA.
Very awesome, very awesome. And can you say it again, what the acronym stand for, NPEA?
Yes, I can. National Partnership for Educational Access.
Awesome. For those that want to stay engaged with NPEA after this conference, what are some opportunities available to them?
That's a good question. So obviously, as the member engagement manager, I want everybody to join and become a member afterwards. That's kind of the best way to kind of really tap into our network is to become a member and really utilize our benefits, right? And so it goes beyond the conference, right? We have, monthly newsletters and digests that we send out that has a whole bunch of resources of what's happening in the space of education. That's a really great way to see what your peers are doing and connect with them and share some ideas. We have regional gatherings that we're starting up, right? So we have things that we just had in Philly this past fall. We're having something in Boston in May. So that really gets people on the ground connected, right? And then so I really want folks to, take what they learned here and make those connections and hopefully become members. But if they don't, I hope that they can continue, using the knowledge that they had here at the conference.
Got you. And is it open to everybody? Who all can become members of NPEA?
That's a good question, right? So we want everyone to become members. If you're a higher ed institution, if you're a K through 12 school, we want you. If you're a community-based organization that has a focus on college access or educational access generally, we want you, right? We want you to have the tools to provide to your staff so that they know that they have a network of committed education professionals around them so that they can come together and brainstorm all their ideas.
Awesome. Yo, how did you even get plugged into NPEA?
That's a good question. All the questions are so good. Okay, so I actually joined the team. This is my second full year as staff, my third conference with the team. And so I actually, graduated grad school from Penn, and I was looking for a job. And I was like, I need a job, y'all. It was hard. The struggle, post-grad struggle is real. And I always knew my passion was to connect folks. And in the education space, I knew I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to be a social worker. I didn't want to, I just wasn't, interested in that client-facing work. I wanted to kind of be behind the scenes and connect folks that are doing the work because I think that's so important. Yeah. And MP, I just found the job, and it was, I was like, that sounds like something I could do and want to do. And kind of since day one, it just has felt right. And I am so blessed with my team. We work really well together. Yeah. I'm so blessed for our amazing members that are doing some really impactful work. And so, yeah, it just feels right, and I'm glad that I got connected with MP.
That's really dope. And for the last 2 years that you've been doing the conferences and everything, just one standout memory or highlight that you got.
Yeah, I'll speak to this generally. So my favorite thing about the conference is seeing first-time attendees. I think it's so powerful for folks that don't even know us from a hole in the wall. They're like, what is MP, right? And so they come to the conference and they get to see the magic of folks that are passionate about this work coming together, and they leave with some really great gems and nuggets of knowledge. And so I think that's my favorite thing, and hearing them like, wow, this is my first time and I can't wait to come back. That is my favorite thing about every conference.
That's really awesome. All right, so we're going to do some quick fire questions.
Alrighty.
I see you name drop Penn.
Oh.
Caden is a Penn. He's a Penn student right there. But just for the purposes of this, so what college did you go to?
All right, so I went to a couple.
Okay.
All right, so undergrad, I went to University of Bridgeport in Connecticut. And then I went to Merrimack College in Massachusetts for my Master's of Education. And then I went to Penn for my Master's of Social Work.
Okay. And I was going to ask you what was your majors in, so you said?
Yeah, so my degree from Penn is in social work. My degree from Merrimack is in education. And then this is a really long one from the University of Bridgeport is international relations and economic diplomacy. It was so long ago, y'all. It was a long, long time ago at this point.
Do you see a connection or through line between those majors and what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think I was blessed enough to be very intentional with my choices because of how I was brought up and how education was very much a tenet in my household, right? That's something that nobody could take away from you. And so I had that privilege to make those choices of being intentional. And so with the international relations degree, I thought I just wanted to travel the world and like just connect with people and be in community with people. I thought I wanted to work for the United Nations. That didn't work out. And then I knew there was some stuff, right, on the home side, like domestically, like what is happening on the ground. And I knew I always wanted to give back to my community. So I was like, maybe education might be the way to do that. And so that brought me back home to Boston, where I'm originally from. And I did 2 years with City Year Boston, which y'all have City Year Philly. I know my folks in the room. And so I did 2 years of service there. And I was like, all right, so let me go back to school. And then I went and got my education degree. And it wasn't teaching credentials, right? It was focused on community development. What does that look like? How can you use education as a means to build community? And then I was like, all right, that sounds good. I'm still not done. Let me go to school again. And I was like, because I want some more people skills. What does that look like? And the social work degree fit that. And I think all those combined really has landed me to this place of like just being able to connect folks, right?
Yeah. I could have went to any grad school, but you chose Penn. Beside the obvious reasons, why Penn, why Philly? You know, Philly and Boston, we got a little thing going on. So
I wanted something different, right? So like I knew my ecosystem of Boston and the landscape there, right? Like I'm a daughter of a mom who went through the busing crisis of Boston. And if you know anything about Boston, busing crisis, then you know, right? And so I was like, I know there's other cities across this country that experienced that and the ramifications of that. And so I was like, I wanted to experience something different. And so Penn had that, and the program really aligned with my goals and, my also personal motivations rather. And so, yeah, Penn was the choice for me in that time. Wow. And they also had a good partnership with City Year. And I was like, that sounds right. Let me get the scholarship, y'all.
Makes sense. As a Bostonian, those Bostonians watching it, don't just relax, all right? But as a Bostonian, what's one thing you really loved about Philadelphia, or one thing you can, I'm going to ask you college memory, but just outside of college memory, like what's one thing you love about Philly? That you experienced?
The energy and the people and the community, like, I came during the pandemic, during a very difficult just time in like the world, but also in my personal life. And it was just, I just never felt like that type of community from jump. Like y'all welcome people for real. Like they're like for real. It's like, and that's something that I've always enjoyed. Like my former supervisor actually came to the conference. Wow. And so like reconnecting with her and like that, there's no love lost, right? Because we haven't seen each other a couple of years, but she really held it down for me while I was in Philly. And so, yeah, I really just think the community and the folks I was able to engage with, like even like the security guards on campus and just hearing their life stories and them caring about our safety, right, as part of their job, but also caring about us as humans and just as an RA on campus. So being part of that experience as well.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Y'all Bostonians, just relax. You know what I mean? I think we've captured one of y'all. For real. But what's your favorite college memory?
I think in undergrad, I had a lot of experiences that I don't think I would have had elsewhere if I had not chosen the institution I went to. So my institution, University of Bridgeport, was very diverse and had a lot of international student population. And so I was able to connect with people from all over the world and also travel. And so I've been able to go to Asia. I've been able to go to Europe and meet folks. And so I think that is just a core memory from college, is having those experiences to folks that I probably would never have met if I had not gone to that school.
And if you could say one thing to your high school self, what would that be?
Stay true to yourself. Don't change for anybody else. And you got this.
You got this. You got this. That was awesome. Thank you, Bianca.
Thank you. Thank you.